Hey guys, Knife Detector here. Want to thank all my new subscribers, and I want to thank all my current subscribers. Thank you for staying loyal and for continuing to watch my videos. If you like knives, then this is a channel for you. I mostly concentrate on vintage knives, but every once in a while I do a video on a knife that is unique or interesting and is also modern. Now today's knife is about to be vintage. It's about to turn 20 years old, I believe. This is a knife that is a venerable knife that's been around for many years, and it's an icon of a knife, but this one has a bit of a twist, and I'm going to explain that in a little bit. Those of you that know that I like buck knives, and those of you that have seen my videos know that a lot of my videos are dedicated to buck knives, but I've never had one like this before. Now, in the, I'd say the mid to early 90s, there was a craze on converting your buck 110s into an automatic knife. So what a lot of people started doing is they started taking their knives to a gunsmith or someplace, or even sending it back to the buck shop in order to convert their regular lockback buck 110 into an automatic push button knife. Here we have one of those such examples. This, to me, I believe, is a knife that was taken to a gunsmith or a talented individual who was able to turn a regular buck 110 into a push button knife. Now, this is a 2000 model. Now, this isn't perfect. As you can see, whoever did this, they seem to have machined this brass piece by themselves. So there's a small little burn mark where they did the machining in there on this button. But let's open it. Let's see how crisp this opens. Very fast. So whoever did this knew what they were doing. As you can see, they had to do a recess right there in order to lock that knife in place with the spring. And inside there's a spring mechanism. And as you can see also by the bracket, that would indicate that this buck is a year 2000 model knife. That means that this knife is going to turn 20 years old come this January. So check it out. It's got a little bit of use, not so much, good enough for me. It's got some light scratches. Somebody tried to clean it and polish it, and they didn't do a terrible job, but it's been used. This is a knife that I also intend to use. If you watch my videos, you understand that I use my knives. I don't just put them away and not use them ever. This is your traditional buck knife. You got your brass, you got your wood, heavy duty knife. This is a heavy knife to carry. Because of that, these are carried with a sheath. And this is a sheath specifically for that from Buck. This is a leather Buck 112. It's an older sheath. It's got the older version of the belt loop in the back. And let me show you a little bit more about this knife. You see that little hole they drilled in there? I believe that's a retention for the spring to kind of hold it in place, to give it elasticity when it opens. So they had to do some modifications. Whoever does these conversions, these push button conversions, they need to be a talented individual. Usually has to be a gunsmith, or you send it back to the buck shop. So let's open this bad boy again so you can see. Not bad. You can see the blade is in fairly decent condition. Hasn't been used much at all. I believe it might still have its original factory edge on that blade. So as you can see, I'm coming down with a little something. Hopefully won't last too long. So I wanted to show you this. This represents probably the most expensive knife that I've ever purchased. I have knives that are over $100, that they're worth over $100. But this particular knife did cost me $100. I bought this at a pawn shop, and I could have waited to see if the price would have come down, but I had a feeling that if I waited too long, that it would not be there. And I know that I probably would not be able to afford to send a knife to get a custom push button job done in the buck shop myself. So seeing it in a pawn shop to me was just, I had to jump on it. I had to jump on it because I knew I probably would never see one of these again in a pawn shop or a flea market or anything like that. So I have to be careful with this. You do want to carry this in a sheath. You don't want to have change in your pocket and then all of a sudden, boom, you stab your artery or something and then you bleed to death. So you got to be real careful with these. That's why I recommend you do carry these, especially the ones that are push buttons, right, in a sheath. And the best sheath for it, in my opinion, is the Buck 110 sheath. It comes with a traditional lettering. It says Buck right there on the button. You know, so this is going to be a short video, guys. I just wanted to show you my latest acquisition. If you ever get a chance to snap one of these up, I recommend it. These you just don't see very often anymore. There are some other versions coming out from other companies and even some Pakistan models with some push button features. But this is a cool knife, guys. I highly recommend it if you happen to run across one of these. Or if you happen to have a gunsmith that will do the conversion for you. This one, it just so happens I ran across it. It was already done for me. So, just like that. It's pretty instantaneous. Pretty instantaneous. So I'm very happy with it. I want to thank all you guys again. I want to wish you a Merry Christmas. In the next week and a half or so, I'm probably going to put out 2 or 3 more videos. I'm going to have a little bit of time to do that. So I will be putting out a couple more videos in the next week and a half or so. Those knives will be a little more traditional, a little older. Maybe a couple of newer ones too. I have a vintage early 1900s Coke bottle knife I'm going to do a video on. And some Pakistan knives that are actually kind of cool with stag handles as well. So if you like traditional knives, you may want to stay tuned to the upcoming videos that I have. And also don't forget to set up notifications by clicking on that bell on my videos and be notified whenever my next video comes up. You know, if you like pocket knives, my videos are kind of like a library of old vintage knives. You might come across a knife you saw your daddy use or your mommy use. You might come across a knife that your grandpa had and you forgot what happened to it, lost track of it along the way. Until then, this is the Knife Detector, and I'm saying happy holidays, God bless, and stay sharp, my friends.